Don't park your spirit. Find the path beyond harmony.
We are so powerful as beings. Nothing can tell you your path except for you. Once you start on this path, you can't turn around. If you believe it, things are going to work for you because every choice you make affects your life. Wherever you go, there you are. Welcome, Carrie Palmer, back here again with The Path Beyond Harmony. A couple of months ago, when I first moved to Newport, I desperately needed a haircut. I had the COVID growth that had been growing since COVID, and it was like half and half. And so my real estate agent's wife referred me to her person, and I loved my haircut. And I loved the woman. We had an amazing conversation, and she told me something that I just knew everybody else needed to hear. What I'm doing, I'm broadcasting from the top of mountains, trying to tell people, change your thoughts, change your life. You could do this. We all have so much power. We're unlimited beings. But Karlia Bertness, my hairdresser, she told me the story of how she, by herself, completely turned her life around. And I mean, it was just such an amazing story. So welcome, Karlia. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
You told me this story, and it's about, you had seasonal affective disorder, was what you said you experienced, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Share your story and tell what you did. It's like, this is a human interest story. People need to know how you went from like this darkness, this depression. It's like, but you have the tools. You figured it out. Changed her life. Karlia, share your story.
Thank you. It began about 23 years ago, moving out to the coast. And as you know, not a lot of sun out on the coast. But I didn't know that what I was experiencing had a name, or that it was, anything that anybody else suffered from. I thought I just didn't like my surroundings. Like I just didn't like being here. But then I'd pop out of it and everything seemed fine. And then it would happen again. So after a few years of this happening, I kind of like made the connection. Wow, it's really like fall and winter that I'm just like so, sad, depressed, not wanting to do anything, no, very low energy. And mind you, I had four small kids. So energy enough to take care of my children, to go to work. But beyond that, there was no desire to do much. And then I began to realize it was the weather, the lack of the sun. So then I started kind of anticipating it. I started to hate the fall. Because fall meant winter's coming and summer's over. And I'm like, oh, I hated the sign of the trees turning colors. Just hated it all. And just almost after a while of that, realizing I'm bringing it on now. I'm accepting it. I'm welcoming it, and I thought, why am I doing that? What if this year I don't feel that way? And I won't know because I've anticipated that feeling. I've put that thought in my head. I've let it live there. And now it's happening year after year after year. I've always known that what you think about comes about. That's something that I've learned at a young age. So I thought I've got to find something positive about this, something I can focus on that can make me happy. And believe it or not, it started with a scented candle. I was working in a salon with another gal, and she liked the spicy fall scented candles. I typically don't like food scented candles. I like, florals, fresh scents, something bright and airy, which obviously, kind of relates more to the sun.
Yep.
At any rate, I noticed that in the fall and winter, when I'd go to work and she'd have this candle lit, it felt nice. It was a good smell. The smell seemed to fit the environment, the atmosphere, and it just made me feel very good. I was really surprised. So I began to make sure in the fall I stocked up on those candles. And I was just going to focus on the good scent of this candle. I go to work and this candle makes me happy. So focus on that. I also eventually took it a step further and realized when I'm complimenting someone, when I'm smiling at someone, like they give you this energy back. So I started to just smile at people and find something I liked and compliment them and making them feel nice, you know, because of course they light up. Thank you. Oh my gosh, these shoes, I love them too. You know, makes that person feel good. Now you're both beaming, you're both feeling good. So scented candle, smiles and compliments. It later progressed into, wow, I really like boots. I found boots. I never wore boots before.
Because they were fall.
Yeah,
fall.
yeah. I stayed away from everything fall.
Yep.
So yeah, these boots I found. I used to wear flats, and flats in the winter, it's gonna give you soggy feet. You know, which always compounds that bad feeling you get, like, oh my gosh, and now my feet are soggy. So I found these boots and realized, oh wow, what a world of difference when your feet are warm. Warm feet. How about that? You know, little things. So then I stocked up on boots and boot socks and scented candles and smile at people and compliment them. And, you know, then it went to scarves and sweaters. And then I thought, this is the cozy time. It's cozy. I'm liking everything cozy right now. Why not lean into that? Who doesn't like cozy, right? So then I just started changing my mindset that, oh, fall's coming, time to hunker down, get cozy and warm. Don't worry if you don't have a lot of energy. This is the time to sleep more. It's okay. Bears do it. Why can't we do it?
Dark all day long. I mean,
right? Like we go a mile a minute when we have energy. If we don't have it, kind of lean into it and look at it as this is rest and recharge time. Cozy, rest, recharge, give energy to others via smiles and compliments. It was 10 years of me just adding on every year something else positive to focus on. And I saw the leaves changing and was excited. I was floored that I thought it was beautiful. I never once thought that the changing leaves were beautiful. To me, it just signified dark is coming. Yeah. Here it comes, buckle up, you know? And 10 years later of just focusing on the littlest thing. And I cried. I'm looking at these fall leaves and I'm like, oh my gosh, they really are beautiful.
They
like,
are.
I saw people, they are. They're just gorgeous. I got out of the car and took photos and I thought, I'm excited. I'm excited for the season, the cozy. I'm looking forward to the cozy. Oh my gosh. And I posted about it on Facebook because I was like, I think I just found the answer for myself for this seasonal depression. I don't have to welcome it in. I can change the way I view it, the way I see it, the way I respond to it. And now on a cellular level, I don't feel it anymore.
It's just, I mean, would you share that story with you? Because, you know, I was telling you during while I was in the chair a little bit about who I was. And then you shared that story. I was like, this story has got to be told because I know so many people who claim, you know, we can't talk to them about it because they're in depression. They're this. It's like all these labels that we put on everybody. And so we're like on eggshells, like depression, you know, we don't want, but you just said enough of it. I created this. I need to uncreate it. And you did.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, the biggest thing is the fact that it did take 10 years.
Yeah.
But that's where I said diligence really plays the biggest part. You have to really want to change. You have to really not want to be this way and you want to feel another way and stick with it. 10 years is a long time, but here I am, probably about 6 years beyond that point. And I'm so grateful and thankful that I figured that out for myself. It was 10 years worth it. It was very much worth it.
So how did you approach it knowing fall and winter is coming and Christmas was in there? I mean, how did that tie in with your like, that's coming and I got to deal with that, but I got, you know, how did
that is a different stressor that personally I had to just step back because I used to be one of those that I had to shop all year long.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make sure I had enough, abundance for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Have totes, have it wrapped, have it labeled, have it ready. And when that started falling apart, the stress, I had to learn to pull out of it and realize that whatever I bring to the table is enough. It's not about the things.
Never.
It's about the family time. It's about the closeness. It's about the energy exchange of the joy, yes, of that season. And really, I think in conjunction with that, it was around the time I was teaching my children to give versus receive. And I told them I was no longer buying them Christmas gifts. They would receive their gifts from grandparents and things like that. And that the gift I was going to now give them was the gift of giving. And so every year they got to choose their own child from a giving tree. They read the description, and they all always seemed to choose a child that was, close to the age that they were and interested in the things that they were. And they had so much fun shopping for their Christmas kid, is what we called them. Mm-hmm. And they still received, but they had so much fun giving. And along with that, we started just making our gifts for our family. So the kids were a part of that as well. And I just found that, something simple and thoughtful was just worth more than buying so many things. So it took a lot of the stress off of it. Just pick a few cool things, put them together, put some love into it. Don't stress. Don't worry, because it's just about being there.
You changed the entire trajectory of your life and your children's by doing this. When I was working in radio, we used to do these things. It was a toy drive where we would go to stores and we would be out front and ask people to go in and buy a toy for a kid for Christmas this year. And if they had kids with them, it was so cute because the kids, first of all, kids are like, but I want it, but mm-hmm. They loved it at a very young age. These kids would go buy some shiny thing that they love to give to some, they don't know who's getting it. But it was that lesson that they're learning. And also we did fundraisers at the radio station where kids would come up and give us toys for kids that were less fortunate. And the whole process of them shopping for that and having that experience, it made it not about them. It was like, it gets you out of your own self and out of your ego and like about making others happy. Well, with your stories, first of all, I didn't know the Christmas part because we didn't talk about that. I'm so glad we covered that too. But you just took, and I think you told me you did like the first year it was scented candles. And, added something every year, just like, I'm going to add something to this and add something to this. So would those be the steps you would recommend for people? Like just find a nugget?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because it's going to be different for everybody. But aromatherapy kicked it off for me. And I'm sure it could kick that off for many other people, but it could be something different, hot cocoa, there's something cozy about hot cocoa. But yeah, I would just say, just kind of sit and feel and take note of even the smallest thing that just sparked a little joy, that brought a little happiness, a little peace, a little zen, and just hold on to that, really focus on that. And I think eventually in time, you'll open up to, oh, wait, this made me happy too. I'm going to add that to my, winter list or whatever the list may be. And just snowball it.
And not having to do, like when I went through leaving my ex-husband and I went to this depression and darkness for 5 years, like trying to claw my way out. And now that's what I'm screaming. It's like, I can save you the 5 years. And so you're saving people the 10. It's like, rather than doing one a year, get a little notebook, have something with you at all, or have sticky notes, whatever it takes. And just make notes of those things that bring you that feeling of good feeling, not icky feeling.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Well, your story's phenomenal. And I'm so glad we got this chance to talk and to share it. We're going to be posting this. I want people to hear it because, right now it is summer. It's very foggy here. We're not enjoying any sun, people. Trust me. I moved here from Washington to where they're probably in the 90s right now. I would rather have the fog. My dog would rather have the fog than the 90s with no air conditioning. But it's right around the corner. So I think our timing on getting this out is really, really critical too. So we're getting it out now and we're going to have people start getting ready. And it's just depression in general. You could use this for just depression, just what makes you happy. It doesn't have to be
absolutely.
Yeah, because there's only so many of us that live on the Oregon coast.
Oh yeah. And I know the rain can get you down too, but me personally, I love the lush green that we have out here, the trees, the grass, the bushes, everything just makes me feel so good. So when I get angry with the rain, I just remind myself, without the rain, we're the desert, and the desert isn't pretty.
I'm from
Yeah.
Las Vegas, and believe me, dirt blowing at your ankles all year long was not something I enjoyed. Well, Karlia, thank you so much for sharing your story. I really appreciate it. I know there's going to be a lot of people that need to hear this. And it's like you have this secret elixir that is so simple. It's just, how do you feel? What are your thoughts? What are you believing in? It's so simple. Change your thoughts, change your life. Law of attraction is everything.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Karlia.
Thank you.